it is shaping the way the public perceives them and a digital footprint that they will never be able to outlive or outgrow. It's weaponizing their meltdowns to go viral on TikTok without any forethought of the ramifications of posting this stuff online. It's fuel for bullies. What do you guys think? Where is the line for family content? And do you think it can be done in a good way, ethically, without compromising the kids' safety and security and privacy? Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel where I dive deep into influencer culture and call influencers and various other people out for their crappy behaviors. Today, we are looking once again at Nika Diwa because despite me being chronically online, apparently she's pregnant again. So thank you to my friend who sent me that update because she announced it back in July. I don't know, but really after my deep dive on her, I needed a serious break because this clout goblin is just exhausting and her content is equally as exhausting. But now, pregnancy has become her entire personality and her views are back up again. Go figure. What's the most lucrative thing to monetize on the internet? Pregnancy, birth, and babies. And Nika is grasping desperately at trying to be that relatable mom again. And really, it's very smart branding on her end, or rebranding, I guess you could say. But we have to ask ourselves, is this genuine or is it just the ultimate content reset? We got a lot to talk about, so let's go, guys. So like I said, I released a comprehensive deep dive on Nika Diwa, which I will link here as long as you promise to come back and watch this video. And around that time, a lot of other creators started catching on to Nika's toxic content, and she went through quite the cancellation, so to speak. Her views and engagement dropped dramatically because people were just genuinely over it, and the performative nature of her content, they were just disgusted by it. Kids still center stage. The most ironic part in all of this is that Nika and Emeka, after their big cancellation, said that they were not going to use their children anymore, that they don't exploit their children because they don't even show their faces anymore. But a quick look at her channel proves that it's just bullshit. And here is a blatant example of her using her little moneymakers and putting them to work. Because at the end of the day, that's what this is. It's work. This is still using your children for content. And if you take a scroll through her video, it might not be every video, it might not be very often, but don't say the thing and do the opposite, because they still 100% use their children. And those videos often have more views, more engagement, more saves, which you gotta wonder why there's more saves on the videos of children. Right? So on screen here, you'll see a TikTok, her daughter with her back to the camera, Nika facing the camera, listening intently to her daughter. It says, "What would you do if someone put their hands on your kid?" Now, that can be taken 800 ways from Sunday, right? Your first instinct isn't, oh, this is kid on kid conflict, which is what this video is about. Now, I'm not sure if I'm able to play this video, but ultimately her daughter's there venting about this imaginary incident that happened. And then Nika goes and approaches the bully that put their hands on her daughter and calls them a mother effer. Straight up, a child. Allegedly, because this is all just a skit. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and play it here, but we might have to mute the audio. Hopefully not, but TikTok can be a little touchy sometimes with that. Admit, maybe this is a little bit of me clutching my pearls because this is supposed to be a funny skit, a relatable moment, right? But for some reason, her content feels so disingenuous, so performative and fake, like she's trying to be this hero, and she's not. And this video gave me just major ick vibes for whatever reason. And maybe it's because approaching another child like that is just like, that's not funny to me, you know? And it's posted online and also using her child. So at the core of it, her daughter cannot consent to what's being posted right now. And she likely is too young to conceptualize what is actually going on in this video, what the actual content says and the audio of it. But she was told, stand here, do this, mommy's gonna kiss your forehead, and then you can walk away. That's exactly what happened. This was set up. It's purely performative. And God forbid they miss the cue or they look at the camera or something. Who knows how many times that this little skit had to be retaken. Now, it's possible that it was only once, but ultimately, at the end of the day, it is putting children to work. It is filming content, which is work. And it's funny because a lot of influencers will say how exhausting this job is, how hard it is, how much work it is, and yet can't seem to realize that putting their kids in performative content like this is putting them through that hard work. And maybe it is only 10 seconds of work if it was taken the first time and they nailed all the cues, but we don't know that. We don't know how many times it was taken, and ultimately it is still putting a 4-year-old to work to make her money on the internet, to go viral on the internet. And again, I know this was supposed to be a funny, relatable mom moment, apparently relatable. But what's the key takeaway here? Escalating conflict to violence? How is that teaching our kids proper conflict resolution? And then you have all these yes men in her comments who are like lapping it all up. She's influencing people to act this way. But this isn't just about one video. This is a pattern of behavior that we've seen over time with Nika's content. Constantly performative, this relatable mom pushing the boundaries, oversharing. She was heavily criticized for her oversharing, for using meltdowns and intimate moments with her daughters and monetizing them. And here she is doing it again. Why? Because it's been a few months and she's fallen off the news headlines of people criticizing and talking about her. And what this does is it allows armchair parents to weigh in on her daughter and offer advice based on this 10-second skit. And it's not just this skit I'm talking about, it's the ones where they're having meltdowns, where they're being labeled as the troubled child or as the difficult child. It is shaping the way the public perceives them and creating a digital footprint for these children that they did not consent in and cannot consent in, and a digital footprint that they will never be able to outlive or outgrow. It's weaponizing their meltdowns to go viral on TikTok without any forethought of the ramifications of posting this stuff online. It's fuel for bullies. And she constantly says, my kids aren't going to be bullied, while posting a video about her kid allegedly being bullied at whatever, and that she's going to empower her kids and she's going to not let them be bullied. Well, no, it doesn't work that way. Life doesn't work that way, and kids are ruthless, and you're giving them all this content on a silver platter to use against your daughters when they're teenagers, when they're in public school. And not only that, but she's full-blown already exploiting this fetus inside of her, which it's her pregnancy, and at least the baby's identity is still protected. But with it being her entire personality, the only thing that's raking in the views, especially grifting on the geriatric pregnancy train, it shows a clear pattern. It reeks of performative accountability. Her saying all the things that the critics want to hear to appease them, to get them to stop talking about her. Look, I've changed. Yes, I've learned from my criticism, only to slowly sneak things back in and continue doing the same thing that she was doing when she was going through her cancellation. And it's this slow but sure reintroduction to continue to monetize the cuteness. It's gross. And you look silly. It is exhausting how her entire personality has become this endless loop of drama and clickbait and family chaos to redemption arcs. She had this pregnancy bait and switch, saying repeatedly that she was done having babies, that she's constantly overstimulated, and really just showing that she doesn't really enjoy being a mother. But boom, baby number 3. Why? Because views were down. And yes, everyone absolutely has the right to change their mind, but for me, it feels all like clickbait, like drama to elicit engagement. She was so heavy on the 2 and we're done. And then the views started to dwindle, especially after her cancellation. And now they're back up again since announcing the pregnancy. But what's the cost? Her kids are not props for her content, which she has full-blown made them into be. And it just feels like she's faking authenticity, and it really drives the ick factor. Questionable metrics and authenticity. But really, it all makes sense. Post-cancellation, Nika's views dropped significantly. So you can see here, we have 200K, 600K, 400K, a couple that hit over a couple million. Hundreds of thousands of views, 23 million, 5 million, 7 million. And then all of a sudden we have 96, 68, 81K, a couple going viral here and there because she steals content and, trends and goes viral off the backs of other people's content and never, ever gives credit to who she found the idea from. So that's really good. 20s, 30s, 40s, a couple 100Ks. And again, 15K here with Emeka's face on it, and then we also have this performative stuff. So she set up the camera and said, I was filming a vlog when I heard a kid yell, "Mom," and this was my reaction. Had to share this safety reminder because out there, we're all moms. And the song playing is Unstoppable by Sia, pretending to be this hero savior type person who's always willing to swoop in and save the day. I covered a lot of these fake performative videos in the past. And the most ironic thing, which I actually saw on Reddit, was the fact that she's sitting here with her camera set up, just happens to be vlogging. It's always just happens to have the camera set up while her toddler is wandering around in the background and she's not even paying attention. But someone yells, "Mom," and she's right on. Come on. I don't believe that anyone could possibly believe this, but they do. It has 12 million views and over 1,000, almost 2,000 comments. But on average, most of them are in the tens of thousands. Again, still going viral every once in a while. Gotta give her credit where credit's due, right? And then where does the pregnancy come in? Constantly, I was in an abusive relationship. I would really like to hear from her ex-husband because some of the things she does is questionable. That's for sure. And then here, her views started picking up again. 140, she had a viral moment, so views picked up a little bit post-viral moment, and this is where she announced her pregnancy. Yeah, so this was her pregnancy announcement, I think. I don't know. Anyway, showing her husband that she's pregnant or pretending for a song or something like that. Taking a pregnancy test after I'm thinking I'm 2 and done. And now we're back up to the hundreds of thousands of views, and her entire personality has become pregnancy. Here, using her toddler while she's retching in the toilet and just holding on to her. But she doesn't use her kids anymore. Right. Telling her hairstylist that she's pregnant got 3.3 million views. Okay. And then here, one of my worst fears I started spotting. 685,000 views and 933 comments. Because, has anyone else been through this? It's engagement baiting. And then this one I saw, and it really icked me out. So the caption on the video says, "It's Labor Day. This is your reminder to never keep your eyes off the kids, even if they can swim." You mean never take your eyes off the kid? That's a weird way to say it, but I guess valid still. Kids can drown in as little as 20 to 60 seconds. Don't take your eyes off them even for a second. Kids safety, Labor Day. Why do you think she was posting this? And this is one of the ones that went viral. This is such a disgusting clout goblin thing to do, and I'm not even gonna say why. Pool safety has never been a concern of hers, ever. And I'm not saying that this shouldn't exist, that this type of content shouldn't exist, but I'm sure she stole it from someone. She didn't think of it herself. And coming from her is just, she's playing this hero type vibe, this savior, this martyr, and she's not. It's performative. And then you're back up to hundreds of thousands of views. Again, just completely exploiting the pregnancy, which it's fine, you know, and being a geriatric pregnant mom and stuff like that. But it's wild because you look and something with 32,000 likes only has 39 comments on it. So let's talk about that next. It's so funny how she announced July 31st, 2025. And like I said, I just heard about it yesterday. And usually this stuff pops up on my feed, especially if I've covered them before. People don't care. Her snarkers are even over her. The sub is dead. It's wild. It's absolutely wild how much people are like, nah, she's a clout goblin. People are over it. So I'm here for that. But again, this baby is bringing in the views, and that's really discouraging. Like I said, I did notice some red flags when I was going through her content, seeing what was up over the last couple months. Because again, I don't follow these people. I don't care to. Their content is garbage and I just, whatever. But if we take, for example, the spotting video, like I said, it has 683.6 thousand views and 26.5 thousand likes, 929 comments, and 776 shares. It's because she says right here, has this ever happened to you? Now, anyone who's been pregnant knows that spotting during early pregnancy is very common. So obviously, there's going to be hundreds upon hundreds of women saying, yeah, it happened to me. It's okay. You're strong. You're okay. Don't worry about it. All the things, right? But if we take a look here at the video of her retching, your toddler watches you puke all day. Like, what? Boundaries. Boundaries are good for children. Just throwing it out there. But it has almost 8,000 likes, okay? But 31 comments. And I can't remember how many views this one had. Did I already close it down? No, I didn't. 130,000 views. Now, that comment to view ratio, it doesn't really add up. And if we go and take a peek, right here, you can see the emoji comments. Those comments are bought. And that makes you think that she is buying engagement to boost herself into the algorithm. And I say that because if we look at any of her videos that she bought engagement for, 77 comments, but almost 9,000 likes. It doesn't add up. There's a bunch of emojis. Those are all bots. Look at all of these. Oh my God. She bought a lot this time. So POV, telling your husband you're pregnant, but he thinks it's COVID. That's silly. COVID isn't a thing anymore. That's not funny. That would be funny if it was 2020. Like, it's not a thing anymore. But okay. There's so many of them. And mind you, on this video, which has a ton of views, there's only 77 comments with over 200,000 views and almost 9,000 likes. That's not a proper comment to like to view ratio, especially on TikTok. But if we look at somewhere where she went viral on her own, let's say, which like debatable whether or not she went viral on her own. See, even at that, like, it's not that great. 1.4 million views, 61,000 likes, and only 630 comments, which is still considerably more, right? And then you have that one where she asks, like, have you experienced bleeding in pregnancy? Engagement baiting, where it has almost 1,000 likes and only 600,000 views. So her mega viral videos aren't getting as many comments as her engagement bait videos. I mean, justifiably so, I guess. But she has 3.3 million followers. That ratio doesn't really make sense. And what it suggests is that she's either buying engagement or she is heavily filtering comments. I personally think it's both. And she's likely buying likes and buying a few comments. Most of her videos since the cancellation have about 10 to 15, except for that one that had like 30, only emoji comments. But the thing is, and the bigger picture, so to speak, is it's about trust. It's about authenticity, which Nika claims to be this authentic, relatable mom. And she's not. It's all fake and performative for the camera. When an influencer suffers a cancellation and the comeback feels manufactured and curated, that erodes the trust between audience, critics, and the influencer, and it makes people question, well, what's real and what's not? You can't be both things. You can't stake your entire personality on being a relatable mom while posting heavily scripted skits and performative content. You can't have it both ways. And the thing is Nika never admits that it's just a joke or I saw this trend, unless she gets called out, which one video, I don't know if I can find it, she got called out and she added to the caption afterwards, like, guys, this is just a trend, which it's not. It wasn't even a trend. Oh, it was for the mom thing, which went super viral. She had like 12 million views on that? It's not a trend. It's content that someone else did very well and thought of on their own that you stole and refused to credit. Pregnancy as a personality and other concerns. And if we think critically in the realm of family vlogger influencers, what brings in the views? Pregnancy, birth, babies, and kids, really, especially if you have cute kids. People fiend for that. It's weird. And pregnancy has become Nika's entire personality. If she's not posting about her geriatric appointments, she's posting her bump front and center, always holding it, which the influencers love to do, right? They love to hold that belly. Or it's about her family glow up. It's all performative BS. And sure, some of it can arguably be seen as relatable content, like the bleeding one. Many women bleed in the first trimester in early pregnancy. They spot. It's normal. That is a relatable thing that can be scary to people. But I honestly think this is her attempting to push the reset button after being heavily criticized. And the fact that she's doing everything relatively the same shows you that she learned nothing and took nothing from the criticism that she faced back in the winter. A quick scroll back through her feed shows the exact same stuff. Fixating on her kids being biracial, this hardcore leaning into performative faith and praying on camera, and her bringing up her personal trauma, past abortions, past miscarriages for clout. She's made multiple videos about just that alone. And I understand it can be triggering and she wants to be that relatable person, but stop. As I said, these aren't new behaviors, but it does show her patterns of behavior over time and that she learned nothing from. And prioritizing views, content, and engagement over ethics is harmful, especially when kids are involved, because oftentimes they can't just opt out of things and they don't, especially at that age, have the wherewithal to say no or consent to what is being posted and how they're being framed and how they're being perceived online. Kids have no concept of who all these people are or the amount of strangers, the fact that strangers are consuming them online. And she's so paranoid, she's never gonna let her kids go to a sleepover, yet she plasters them all over the internet. Now, while Nika's pregnancy might have brought her views back up temporarily, the same issues still run rampant. The privacy of her children is still very much compromised. She's using them for views, for content. Authenticity is very questionable, and the views to comment to like ratio is really off and makes no sense. And I want this to serve as a reminder to really think critically about who we choose to follow and support on social media. Again, she was heavily criticized and essentially got away with it. But what do you guys think? Where is the line for family content? And do you think it can be done in a good way, ethically, without compromising the kids' safety and security and privacy? I personally have never seen a good example of a family vlogger. It's hard to say if it can be done right, especially when little kids are involved, because I feel like ultimately when children, small children, who can't possibly understand being posted in front of so many people, I feel like that can never be done ethically. I honestly don't think it's possible. As kids grow, as they enter teenagehood, if you're having open and honest conversations about the dangers of posting online, the ramifications, then yeah, maybe I can be there with that. But little kids shouldn't be allowed online. If you're not old enough to have a social media of your own, you should not be allowed to be exploited by your parents on social media. Period. Point blank. And if you want more context into the backlash that Nika faced a while ago, please check out my deep dive. I'll have it linked here and linked below. And yeah, that's what I got for you guys. It blew my mind that she actually decided to go through with pregnancy. Oh, and another thing, she said that she missed a birth control, which she said in the past. She joked about birth control and withholding birth control because she wanted another baby or something like that. Like, she's made those jokes before. And I don't know. I just think it's so irresponsible to post and joke about that kind of stuff. Like, oh, I missed it one time, I'm sure we'll be fine. No, you won't be fine. That's why the directions are clear. Take your birth control at the same time every single day. And she's posting this to young, vulnerable, impressionable people. It's not okay. It's like the Churkos saying that they thought they were fine because they were breastfeeding. Stop promoting that stuff to your audience. And obviously it happened to them and it doesn't work. So it's a blatant example of it doesn't work, but people are going to get in their mind of, I can probably get away with it. You're right. It's only one time. Yeah, that's a good point. It's only one time. The influencers need to be more responsible with the crap that they post. But thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoyed yourself and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. I might be shifting this channel solely to deep dives again, but I also think keeping up with influencers and keeping the updates going and the problematic behaviors front and center is really important. So I'm not really sure. I'm kind of conflicted on direction and what to do. But I truly appreciate you guys joining me for this video. I hope you are having an absolutely fantastic day wherever you are in the world, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.